With record numbers of travelers arriving in Japan, the trains, streets, and tourist spots are practically bursting at the seams. To escape the crowds and immerse myself in a uniquely Japanese experience, today we're heading to the countryside, just 2 hours away from Osaka. Welcome to Toba, a small coastal city with a population of just 17,000 people, but don't let its small size fool you, as this destination really packs above its weight. Let's go! Located in the Shima Peninsula of Mie, Japan, Toba was historically under the control of pirates during the warring Sengoku period. That is until Kuki Yoshitaka emerged as the dominant power and constructed Toba Castle in the year 1594. But incredibly, Toba's history goes back far, far older than this. The women of Toba had been diving the bay's waters for thousands of years. Known as the ama, these freediving women collect shellfish, lobsters, and in the past, even pearls, at a depth of up to 30 feet, just by holding their breath. The ama will dive in the mornings, then take care of the home and children, and even tend to the fields. It's a local saying that, if you cannot support your husband, then you are not a full-fledged ama diver. What a time to be alive. And incredibly, the average age of an ama diver today is around 70 years old. Along the coast of Toba is the small fishing village of Osatsu, which has the highest population of ama divers in all of Japan. You can even meet these women for yourself at the Osatsu Kamado hut, where real ama will prepare their freshly caught daily catch and grill them right in front of you. Straight from the sea to the coals, enjoy the taste of ise lobsters, scallops, turban shells, and abalone, set to the sounds of the nearby bay. Before trying on the ama attire for yourself or walking off your lunch by exploring this charming coastal village, along the seaside, you can see the very huts that the ama use to warm their bodies by the fire after a cold dive. Throughout the village, you may even find the two symbols of the ama. The first is the star-shaped Seiman talisman, written in a single stroke, which symbolizes a safe return to where you started from. The second, the lattice-like doman, which symbolizes the many eyes watching over them as they dive. On a nearby hilltop overlooking the town stands Shinmei Jinja, where the goddess Ishigami-san is enshrined. Shinmei Jinja is famous across Japan for its sacred 300-year-old tree and also for the mystical power of Ishigami-san, who is said to grant one true wish to every woman who visits. And even though that doesn't benefit me, I enjoyed the tranquility all the same. In ages past, as many as 400 ama lived in Osatsu, but sadly, due to the changes of our ever-modernizing world and fewer young women willing to carry forward the tradition, they now number at just 90. Ayami-san is one such woman who wants to change this.
私の名前はあやみです。アマを始めて7年目です。
As a mother of 5 children, she only considered joining after being gifted the equipment and being invited to dive by a senior ama. And incredibly, at this time, she didn't even know how to swim.
4番目が生まれてから始めました。私は泳げません。これは5番目がお腹にいた時です。道具をもらいました。泳げないから怖かったです。泳げないけど潜れたからちょっとは取れました。めっちゃ楽しいです。
One of the major concerns of the locals is the changing state of the oceans and the sustainability of local fisheries. Protecting the environment is of critical importance to the woman of Toba, and because of this, alongside her duties as both a mother and a diver, Ayami-san now also runs an eco-crafting experience. After a quick tour of her personal ama hut and its state-of-the-art security system, Ayami leads the charge in cleaning up the local beaches and then uses the very materials collected, such as discarded plastics and sea glass, to craft beautiful works of art and jewelry, which she even wears while out on her dives. To remember your time at Osatsu, you can even craft something for yourself, as Ayami watches over and instructs you in her art. Her favorite piece, a necklace crafted from a piece of sea glass found by her second-born child. It is Ayami's dream that her young children will one day follow her in keeping this tradition alive and join her diving the waters of Toba. While the coastline is breathtaking, over 70% of Japan is made up of forests and mountains, and Toba is no exception. Since ancient times, the Japanese people have believed that this is where the gods reside, and the worship of these gods is called Shugendo. Established over 1300 years ago by the mystic En-no Gyoja, combining aspects of both Shintoism and esoteric Buddhism. Practitioners of Shugendo are called the Yamabushi and will often embark on pilgrimages to sacred sites and mountains, testing themselves both physically and spiritually through reflective journeys through the woods, fasting, and waterfall meditation. A Yamabushi may spend years in the mountains on the path to enlightenment, but you can experience it for yourself in just one day at the Shirataki Daimyojin, just 20 minutes away from the city center. And no need to worry about the fasting part, as they'll feed you. Starting the day by changing into authentic Yamabushi attire. How do I look?
You look white.
I kind of feel like I'm ready to go to bed. Like, you kind of feel like pajamas in the forest. Except for the sneakers and everything, it was like a pretty good get-up. You'll then be guided through the pristine nature and experience forest healing. Shinrin-yoku is the Japanese practice of sensory engagement relaxation, which encourages you to connect with nature, clearing your mind and focusing on the sound of the wind in the trees, water running over stones, or the crackle of a cozy fire. And just after being lulled into relaxation, it's time to put you to work as you are whisked away to an 100-year-old Japanese home and forced to cook your own lunch. Just kidding, this was actually one of my favorite parts as you learn about and prepare the simple yet delicious ingredients of Yamabushi cuisine, which focuses on the natural flavors of local ingredients. You'll then relax into the early afternoon with some meditation, sampling freshly baked mountain sweet potatoes as you prepare for your final Shugendo challenge, Takigyo, or Waterfall meditation. This century-old practice aims to purify both the mind and soul, boost the immune system, and build inner strength as you challenge yourself to last under the icy cold, pristine waters. The transition from a cozy house eating hot baked potatoes to plunging under an icy cold waterfall is a bit of a shock at first. But there was something incredibly invigorating about the experience that kept me coming back for more.
It feels so good. It's so cold though, and right now I think my nipples could cut glass, so I think it's time to head to the sauna.
In the past, the Yamabushi could spend weeks in the mountains of Japan training and fortifying themselves against the elements, but fortunately, you don't have to, as the town offers a range of accommodation including Rotemburo, open-air onsen baths overlooking the Toba Bay, and Mikimoto Pearl Island. This small island played a huge role in Japan's pearl industry globally by combining the talents of the Ama divers with Mikimoto's pearl cultivation techniques. It was Mikimoto Kokichi's dream to beautify women all over the world with the pearls of the Shima Peninsula. They even have some options in my price range.
Nice.
Even though modern aquaculture no longer has need of the Ama divers to cultivate pearls, to honor their legacy and showcase the incredible skill of the women of Toba, diving displays are held daily for all to observe from land or sea, which, in my opinion, is the best way to experience the now pirate-free ocean, by taking a leisurely cruise through the bay. During Japan's Edo period, Yakatabune cruises were a favored pastime of influential lords and the elite, and now you too can enjoy the experience. Yakatabune Okita is one such traditional Japanese pleasure boat with real tatami mat flooring and rooftop observation deck, complete with a gourmet lunch at an affordable price, featuring a multi-course menu of both grilled and steamed spiny lobster, local vegetables and Wagyu beef, barbecued right at your table. All while sipping on some regional sake or cider. Seriously, you can't get ingredients fresher than this.
Spare my life, and I will grant you 3
Delicious. On this cruise, you might even start to feel like a noble of old yourself. I'm certainly starting to develop the body of one.
Oh my.
This has got to be the perfect way to end your time in Toba, admiring its stunning coastlines and appreciating one of Japan's best destinations that you've never heard of. I've had an incredible time here in Toba over the last few days, from the amazing food, the friendly people, and of course, the fascinating history. And you can find links for all of these activities in this video in the description below. So what are you waiting for? And if you like experiencing Japan off the typical tourist trail, then you need to check out my video for Gujo here, and I'll see you in Japan. That's okay.
Yeah,
I've seen this go wrong before.